Hello world, welcome to my channel. My name is Jobadiah Christensen. Today I'm going to do more of an historical and archaeological take on this article that popped up on this find that was discovered, it looks like, in Israel. Just to give you a little background for why I'm doing this sort of a video, I have a master's degree in history. I have a minor degree in archaeology. I've been on several archaeological digs in the country of modern day Jordan. And I'm very passionate about ancient history, particularly in the Mediterranean and Near East, Levant area. So that's why you have it. I'm also very interested in any sorts of archaeological finds that are related to biblical history. Um, so that's why I'm going to go through this article today. A friend of mine sent it to me, and I just wanted to read through it with you and just share my thoughts as I do it. I'm not going to read the whole article verbatim. I'm just going to point out some things that we can take away from it and hopefully learn together. So let's just jump in. This is sent to me was posted on the Jerusalem Post, which I haven't read before, but it looks reputable. That's always what you want to do. First thing when you see a source, you want to check your sources and make sure you're reading a good source, right? Because anybody now can really write anything and put it online. So you want to make sure what you're reading is actually reputable and something that is good scholarship. So here we go. Title: Israel uncovers 3,500-year-old inscription from biblical Canaan. So 3,500 years. We're in 2021, so 3,500 years approximately is going to be around 1,500 BC. Biblical Canaan. So Canaan was the region of modern day Israel. And that's what Canaan is referring to. And an inscription means we're looking for some sort of writing. An inscription always is going to designate a form of writing. Either can be on a stone or any artifact can technically be an inscription. All right. So it says the writing, a combination of 6 letters on 2 distinct lines, is featured on a pottery sherd found on the site located in the Shephelah region in south central Israel. All right. What can we break down from this that we're going to be looking for in this article? So it's only 6 letters that they found. And that's really not that surprising because in ancient well, I know ancient Hebrew did this, and probably um, Ugarit, which is the language that the Canaanites used. Well, Ugarit is kind of more Phoenician. Anyway, Canaanite language scripts are Semitic, just like Hebrew. And in those language groups, they didn't use vowels. So all the 6 letters is just probably going to be 6 consonants. That's my guess. So I don't know if they deciphered what it actually said, but generally you can still tell. Pottery sherd just means it was written on some sort of a pot that then broke, because a sherd is a portion of a ceramic holding device, basically. And south central Israel, so that's probably going to be south of Jerusalem. Or it could be in Jerusalem's region, because Jerusalem is in the southern part of Israel. So we'll see. Alright. It was unearthed in Tel Lachish. Oldest piece of writing ever found in Israel. Here we go. Offers unprecedented insights into the development of the first alphabets. A study published in the journal Antiquity. Okay, Antiquity. I haven't read that journal before. Alright, so here we go. They actually gave us a picture of it. That's pretty cool. So it's a pot sherd. 6 letters and 2 distinct lines. I guess this is one line. And this is the other. So probably if they had the whole pot, which they probably don't have, there probably would be more writing on the outside of the pot. So that's interesting, too. And Lachish. Lachish is mentioned in the Bible, especially in Genesis and in the book of Joshua, when the Israelites come in and take over the land of Canaan. So, okay, it was discovered in 2018 by the Austrian Archaeological Institute. So Austrians were excavating. Okay, they're looking at the transition from Middle to Late Bronze Age, and they're looking to obtain a radiocarbon sequence. So they're looking specifically for artifacts that will help them have dates. So for radiocarbon sequence, you need to have organic materials. You need to have charcoal or ash, it's like something that's burnt. Like that will provide radiocarbon dating. You might be able to do it on bones, but you need something organic. You can't radiocarbon date a potsherd. Yep, Lakish is one of the most important sites. Yep, I knew that. And it was Canaanite Center. Yep, mentioned several times in the Bible. I already said that. According to the book of Joshua, they destroyed it. Yep. And then it later became. Oh, right. So then there's Lachish. Later became another important city, which was destroyed by the Assyrians. So that's also mentioned in the Bible. So they were able to date the inscription thanks to the numerous organic samples collected with it, such as seeds. So there you go. But here is the catch. So they were able to date the seeds, and the seeds were found in the similar, what's called probably a similar locus as the potsherd. All that means is that the potsherd can't be any later than that date. So it's going to be approximately 1500. It can't be from 1300 because the seeds are from 1500. But it could have been made in 1600 because a potsherd will survive. I mean, it survived 3,500 years. It could have survived 100. It could have been made 100 or 200 years before the layer in which it was found. So we always have to keep that in mind as well. It could be even older than what the date suggests. Many experts have doubts regarding the script. Yeah, I'm not familiar with this script. This doesn't look. I haven't really studied ancient Hebrew or languages like this. It doesn't look like anything that I've seen before. So it narrows the gap between the earliest testimonies of alphabetic script uncovered in the Sinai region and more recent evidence of Semitic alphabets. Oh, so they know that the early alphabet was invented in Sinai area. Interesting. I'm not up to date on this type of history, so this is really cool. Before their discovery, experts believe that writing might have brought by Egyptians to the Levant. Yep, I buy that. Yep, and in the Late Bronze Age, the region was between the Egyptian Empire. And this Late Bronze Age period, between 1550 and 1200, it was under the Egyptian Empire, but also you have to keep in mind that during this time period is when the, oh, what's the kingdom that lives in modern-day Turkey? Now it's escaping me. So there was a kingdom in modern-day Turkey that was at war with the Egyptians during this time period, and the land of Canaan would flip-flop and go back and forth between the two empires. I can't believe I can't remember that right now. Let's look it up since this is a knowledge video. So, who was ancient kingdom Turkey? The Hittites. That's what I wanted. Oh, I guess the Hittites were slightly before. Well, there you go. I just didn't want to spread any false information. Moving on. Even though the letters identified on the sherd bear names and compose words that might sound familiar to a modern Hebrew speaker, the alphabet was not the Hebrew alphabet, rather an alphabet from which the Hebrew one would evolve to centuries later. Yep. So it's a precursor. It's an alphabet that later evolved into what we know today as modern Hebrew, but it's just a Semitic alphabet is what it is. Inscription bears letters that researchers have identified as Ain, Bet, and Dalit. So those are letters forming a word. Oh. So they think it means slave and nectar. All alphabets have somewhat evolved from hieroglyphs. Now that we know that the alphabet was not brought to the Levant Now we know, wait, now we know that the alphabet was not brought to the Levant by the Egyptian rule. I don't, is that it? Okay, I don't understand why this discovery rules out that it was brought by Egyptians. Is anyone else confused? So they said it's an alphabet that's prior to the Hebrew one. An ancient Egyptian, I think, is part of the Semitic language group, though I could be wrong about that. I think they're saying because this was found at the same time as the Egypt. I don't understand this statement. They can say that it was much earlier and under different social circumstances. Okay, so I guess they're saying that the pot was found in a time period prior to when the Egyptians were extending their reach over the land of Canaan. And so because the, the potsherd predates when the Egyptians were ruling over the region, therefore, the language that's on the potsherd eventually evolves into Hebrew, ancient Hebrew. And so they know ancient Hebrew comes from whatever language this is on the potsherd and not from when the Egyptians ruled over ancient Canaan between 1500 and 1250 BCE. I guess that's the conclusion they're making. I would say there's not enough evidence to make that conclusion, but you're open to have that interpretation if you want. Like the logic, I guess there's logic there. I can't say it's not that, but I also would say there's not enough evidence to make a statement like that. But that's fine. These guys are PhDs. They're smarter than me. They know more than me, so that's fair. That's a fair assessment. So for me, this is the more important. So they know that the early alphabet was invented in approximately the 19th century, and then it resurfaced later on around the 13th to 12th. So this potsherd actually provides a link between the 1800s and the 1200s, because this falls right in the middle of that. So to me, this is more important. This provides a link between there and kind of informs us about what was happening to the language during this time. So, all right. Well, that's really all they're talking about. I could probably go search other articles to read more about it. But I've read things like this before, and there usually isn't really that much more information. So, anyway, this is a pretty cool picture. So, let me know in the comments what you think, if you have any knowledge of ancient Semitic scripts. Let me know. I can't read this or cipher it. What do you think about their logic? Do you think that finding this potsherd definitely proves that the alphabet was not brought to the Levant by Egyptian rule, and that it is from this earlier Semitic script? Or would you say that it's possible that this pot is just part of the transfusion and doesn't rule out that the Egyptians still could have brought the language? So that's all I have today. Thanks for watching. If you ever want to know my takes on something, leave a comment of an article that you saw related to ancient history or ancient archaeology, and I'll take a look at it. Have a great day, all.